Hi everyone, congratulations on making it to day 12. We're almost halfway. Oh no, we are halfway. 24 weeks. We're at the halfway mark. Congratulations on making it to the halfway mark. Congratulations to me to making it to the halfway mark. Oh my goodness. Today we'll be puzzling the lovely poinsettia little puzzle. It's they're all so cute. But yeah, so poinsettia today. So what inspired me from the poinsettia prompt? Let me think. Nature writing, of course. If you watch my earlier video on Nonfiction November, wrap up and TBR for potential future reads, I am currently obsessed with nature writing, nature science, books on trees, owls, birds, octopus, so many things to read. It's so wonderful to see nature writing being a really popular topic to write about. It's not just writing about a tree, it's certain species of tree. It's writing about human interactions with that environment, and that's just what I love. So I'm going to go through the books I recommend as a bit of a starter pack for nature writing. If you've never got into it, or if you just want to start somewhere, I think these are the best ones to start with. They're just so beautiful in their writing, and they just draw you in with their magnetism. Start with the absolute pinnacle of human experience when it comes to nature writing, and that is gonna have to be Robert Macfarlane. Yes, that is correct. Underland by Robert Macfarlane is a masterwork. Honestly, I was still working at the bookshop when it first came out, and I did not understand why so many people were coming in to buy a book about a guy who travels underground. By his writing and the way he really, thank you, and the way he really talks about, but his writing and the way he really kind of explores the history of a place and the importance and the majesty that can be found in these spaces, and what underground places say about not only deep time, but what it says about human time, and really reflecting on that experience. And it was just beautiful. I need to do a reread, actually. This is such an integral book for any nature writer, but also like a beautiful memoir, and seeing that human experience in such a deep time aspect to really understand where our reality is in the space of the world. It's beautiful. So yeah, I definitely recommend. 100% number one, top tier on the list. Probably the earliest nature writing that I started with was H is for Hawk by Helen Macdonald. This is a really beautiful story on grief, and it really helped me when I was grieving the loss of my grandparents. It just resonated so well. But this is such a beautiful tale of a woman who basically, at the death of her father, she was a falconer, but she was determined to train a goshawk, which is probably one of the hardest falcons to train. And the challenges that she faced throughout that was felt, but it also helped her come to terms with a lot of the emotional challenges she was keeping bottled up. So yeah, so it was such an amazing read, and it just, the bird and the representation of grief, so good. So good. Next, if you are a fan of understanding Japanese culture and basically understanding Japanese concepts of nature, there is Walking in the Woods, which is Get Back to Nature the Japanese Way of Shirin-yoku. So this is a great introductory, I say. It's a really good basic ideas of what to do when you are back in the forest, because there's that disconnect we have very much now, a very big disconnect with nature. And so this is such a great read for people who have never really thought of nature in that way. It's just something that's outdoors, it's a garden. But no, Shirin-yoku really wants you to connect with wild nature, as much wild nature as you can. So not just going into the garden, actually going for a walk, going for a hike, just sitting in that space and reflecting, having nothing else there to distract you, or just being distracted by nature, by watching that. It's just having that moment to settle and to calm and to be at a different time. I think is very important and very integral to the idea of Shirin-yoku. So yeah, so this is a really great little introductory idea of, you know, how nature can be so integral to the human spirit and basically the human mental health as well. Okay, mushrooms, fungi are having such a renaissance at the moment, but my favorite is The Entangled Life by Merlin Sheldrake. This book is so fascinating. Like, if you, like me, just thought a mushroom was a mushroom and you know it's a fruity body of a much larger organism, this book will give you all the information you were lacking on mushrooms. This was such a great read. I loved it. And they've just released an illustrated edition. So not illustrated, but it's actually got photographs. And oh, they're so pretty. I really want that copy too. But this is such a great read. I highly recommend. And it's just such an interesting perspective because Merlin Sheldrake is, I think he's a mycologist, studies mushrooms. And so to have his perspective and his passion behind this writing, that's when it kind of gets to the heart of you. So yeah, if you want to know more about mushrooms or just join the bandwagon of the mushroom craze, this is your read. And lastly, going back, I don't actually have the first book on me because that's with a friend right now, but Raynor Wynn's Salt Path. This is Landlines, her book 3, but Salt Path, the first one, is such a great read because it's a real human story, and it's Raynor and her husband Moth basically became homeless when they lost their home of 20 something years, when unfortunately their finance, the farm was, they assisted a person who didn't help them in the end, so they lost a lot of money and they effectively became homeless, and they decided, what the heck, we're just going to walk the south west path just because they could. It's basically a path from Devon through Cornwall. It's a coastal path, and the challenges they had along the way, because Moth was also diagnosed with quite a debilitating illness as well, and so he was losing a lot of strength, and they thought that, you know, would they be crazy for even attempting this? But he actually, walking and actually having that connection and just not having that day-to-day needing to sit down and drive and do all of that, and having that being active in his person really actually helped him, and he became a lot stronger. So it's such a great read of not only understanding how homeless are treated in England, also this connection to nature that they found and the health benefits it had as well. It's such a beautiful read. But Landlines is book 3, and they're once again back on the road, and I cannot wait to read this one. Okay, so they are my top, 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My top 5 reads if you want to get into nature writing. But now it's time for the puzzle, so please join me as we put that together. Okay, I'll see you next time. Bye.